Good evening. This is Chris Peplinski. Welcome to another edition of the Movie Blog. I figured today's movie that I figured I'd like to talk about is The Space Between Us. The reason why I figured I'd talk about this movie because it happened to come out around my 30th birthday back in October, and the same thing also goes for the Blade Runner 2049 movie, which also came out that same weekend, which was like 6th of October, even though that birthday was on the 5th. So I figured that particular one I'll talk about in another review. But in the case of The Space Between Us stars, Kate Winslet, famously known for her role as Rose, in the Titanic movie, which I can't believe is over 20 years old, and of course, Idris Elba, a British actor. The basic premise of this particular movie is this is the story of Alex, who's a photojournalist, and Ben, who's a neurosurgeon. They find out their flights, get delayed, canceled because of a storm. So they end up meeting this pilot named Walter, played by Beau Bridges, the older brother of Jeff Bridges. I guess to get them to the where they gotta go, since Ben, needed to, they did a flight to perform surgery on a patient, and um, Alex was getting married to her fiance. But of course, when Walter's character suffers a heart attack, the plane that they were on crashes, and they end up like in the middle of snowy, weather, almost like in the middle of nowhere, and the two of them have to rely on each other to survive, and I guess to eventually find their way back to civilization. And of course, eventually, along the way, the two of them, they get to know one another, and fall in love. I would say, in terms of the story, the mountain between us, it's actually a pretty surprisingly decent story. I mean, is it more the same with the romantic genre? I would say yes, but I would say to see the performances of Kate Winslet and Idris Elba, it's definitely worth giving it a look. And it goes to show you that sometimes two strangers, despite their different backgrounds and different circumstances, can fall in love in the most unexpected ways. So I guess for those that are, I guess, the type of people that love the romance genre, I guess this type of particular movie would be for you. I would just say for those that have seen it, they could feel free to share, like, comment on the video to see what they thought about it. And I just figured, just wanted to say, thank you again for watching, and I will definitely be sharing more reviews of other movies out there. Thanks again.